Hello, and welcome to today's Justices Video Blog Roundup. My name is Jahara.
And I am Jeff. Today, we are going to do a little recap of all of the topics that we have covered so far.
From Juan Williams' proclamation that he gets nervous around black men, to Haley Barbour's curiously sketchy memory.
First up, Fanny Pack's interview with a random Republican. And get this, there was even a surprise visit from half-term governor herself, Sarah Palin.
Republicans are working very hard to defund education, including scholarships like the Pell Grant. Your party is also intent on taking rights away from union workers. Why do you hate the poor and the working class so much?
Because they are poor and working class. They ain't paying none of my bills.
Halt. Halt, I say. The Republican powers that be have sent me to take over for you are R 20,938. And you may go now. Now.
But why?
There is no time for idle chit-chat. M. Relinquish your seat, now. Now.
It appears that we have been joined by half-term governor and professional victim, Sarah Palin. Welcome to the show, Quitter from Wasilla. Isn't the real class warfare against the poor and the working class? Shouldn't we be looking for ways to create jobs and otherwise take care of American citizens like, for instance, the elderly, who cannot help themselves? What would Jesus do?
Don't you dare bring him into this. Listen, these little skirmishes that we on the left and right and in the center have on a daily basis only serves to further disenfranchisure those who truly wish to work together and in the true harmony that is the American spirit. Wow, that was intense. Poor Fanny.
I am not ashamed to say that I feared for dear Fanny's life. As photojournalists, we do want to ask the tough questions, but
it may have been safer to be in Libya than to face Sarah Palin in the studio that day.
Next up, reproductive rights.
Yes. Well, as a woman with my own personal, or should I say private, uterus, this segment hit home for me.
Yes. What is your question, sweetie?
Hello, my name is Ariana and I'm here to ask you to please keep your government hands off of my private uterus. It is my uterus and you cannot have it.
My dear, women are called the weaker sex for a reason. You simply are not equipped to deal with important issues such as childbearing. That is why Republicans in Congress are preparing to bring forth the Uteri Protection Act. This act will see that every female over the age of 12 is fitted with what we are calling the uterus tracking device. This device is incredibly innovative in that it will track everything from your menstrual cycles, to when you are ovulating, and just how many different penises have entered and exited your vagina. And perhaps even your anus.
But isn't all of this an invasion of my privacy? I'm out. I'm out, Ray.
I think what she is trying to say is that she is outraged. This is maddening.
Ladies. Hush. Calm down, calm down. It is really this simple. As human incubators, you do not enjoy the same privacy as everyone else.
But I thought that your party was the one of personal responsibility and about small government.
Emphasis on personal responsibility and small government.
I can understand why this may have confused you gals. What the Republican Party want is for the government to be small where we want it, and we want it to be large where we want it. Again, it's that simple. Besides, we must protect those precious fetuses. For instance, Did you know that 88% of women would have an abortion and only 44% of those women would opt to carry a baby to full term?
That is not even remotely accurate. And what about once the baby is born? What if the mother cannot afford to take care of it and needs to go on public assistance? Will you support more funding for welfare programs?
Fetuses are the most precious beings in the world. But once they are born into a real-life human being, they poop, they cry, and need food, clothing, and shelter. Babies are nothing but tiny American citizens looking for a free ride. That is flat out unacceptable.
Republicans always put things so eloquently, don't they? After that show aired, we received a lot of interesting feedback.
In our heads.
And decided to put a correspondent out on the street to see what the people were saying.
This is Tim checking in. I'm on break right now from the Beg and Save and have agreed to go out and get some feedback from the people. I mean, from the women on the street. I'm asking about reproductive rights. Off we go. Hey girl with the crown on. Can I ask you something?
Oh look. It's a camera. Hi camera. Sure, ask me anything. I have been waiting for this, like forever.
What is your name?
My name is Iggy. Iggy Pop.
That's an awesomely not original name. Is it real?
It's my stage name. My real name is Ashulaha, from Timburger. I just finished dining at the cave with my sorority sisters. I had eggs.
That's amazingly coincidental because I wanted to ask you about your eggs.
I like them, very easy and filled with cream. Cream that has been beaten. Very hard.
No, I mean the eggs in your body.
What do you mean that I have eggs in my body? Are they yummy?
I should say not. What I want to know is about your reproductive rights.
Oh, I know all about reproductive rights from my Science 101 class. It's important that all women have, such as their rights, to have eggs that drop from ovaries, and such as is in Africa and the people of China who are all like, starving and stuff.
Hey little girl. Can I talk to you about your uterus?
Over my cold dead, piss-soaked, maggot-infested body.
Come here, you pervert. Epic. Fail.
I'm speechless.
Moving on. In this next clip, we took on the Republican ilk and the things that they don't mind saying on the record.
There was an article about an 11-year-old girl who was gang raped in Texas by 18 young men because she was dressed up like a 21-year-old prostitute. And her parents let her attend school like that. And I think it's incumbent upon us to create some areas where students can be safe in school and show up in proper attire so what happened in Texas doesn't happen to our students.
Do you suppose that there are really people out there who blame that 11-year-old girl for getting raped?
Nope. Well, maybe. Perhaps. Yeah, actually. Probably.
Like the late great Arsenio Hall would say, things that make you go hum.
Arsenio Hall is not dead.
No? Are you sure?
Yup.
Ha ha. This reminds me of the time that the one chick on America's Next Top Model didn't know if Nelson Mandela was dead or alive.
Do you really think that this is comparable?
No. I suppose it's not. Moving on. This next clip is from our segment on Haley Barbour.
The civil rights era was not that bad.
In an attempt to strike fear into the hearts and minds of the black population against nigger-loving concepts of racial equality, white Southerners revived the ever-effective lynching, which had been in decline, to combat the achievements of civil rights workers. Lynching served as a reminder to all black Southerners that they existed in the Jim Crow South.
The civil rights era was not that bad.
Recently you boasted that you eliminated a $720 million deficit without raising anyone's taxes. Would you consider that to be a fact?
Why, yes, I do.
So, you have never raised taxes as the governor of Mississippi.
That is correct.
According to MotherJones.com, in 2009 you approved legislation that increased taxes on Mississippi's approximately 110 hospitals by between $60 million and $90 million.
Well, clearly that does not count.
And in the years prior to that, you attempted to impose a revenue tax on Mississippi's hospitals, but both Democrats and Republicans rejected that proposal.
It doesn't count. It was an old tax that I simply wanted to reinstate. It does not count.
Do you understand that you have raised taxes? And in addition to those raised taxes, you have cut budgets to vital services and to public schools.
The great George W. Bush once said, "Children's do learn."
Crap, he meant that barber.
He's kind of rotund.
Like Rush Limbaugh.
They've given us the Prius. Even now, refugees are recycling their garbage. And yet, Guy levels them. Just wipes them out. He sure got a kick out of those people in Japan losing their lives, didn't he?
That man feeds on the anguish and pain of others.
Did you know that Dick Cheney doesn't have a pulse?
Get out. Are you serious?
Yup. They say it's due to this technology, this device called a LVOD, but personally I think that he has finally figured out how to harness evil and turn it into mana.
Mana.
Yeah, you know. Like power?
Power? You mean like electricity?
Sort of. Ask someone who plays World of Warcraft. Anyway, I think that Cheney just lives off of evil energy now. He don't need no pulse. Or a heartbeat. Okay, maybe he needs a heartbeat.
That's sort of scary.
Yup. And I fear that one day Rush Limbaugh will learn how to fully harness evil energy and he too will become a vampire.
You are losing me here, Jeff. Let's move on to one. I'm scared of my own shadow, Williams.
Recently you have come under fire for some quite controversial comments. Again, it seems that you are resistant to learning your lesson.
I am sure that I have no clue what you mean.
Oh, well, we all know that you lost your job as a journalist at NPR after making a comment about how Muslims frightened you. More recently you have stated that, with the state of black-on-black crime, you too were scared of black people.
Yes. This is true. Well, it's more like they make me nervous.
So, even after the fallout with NPR, you go on to make another discriminatory comment against a group of people. It seems that losing your job with NPR has not taught you anything.
I'm with Fox News now.
Well, the good news is, and I am sure that you will be happy to hear this. Since most crimes are committed intraracially, you are free to be as scared of black men as you wish.
This is good news.
Or perhaps you can buy a pair.
I guess he got us with that "I work for though." I mean Fox News thing.
I would chuckle right now if I had the ability to do so.
I too am laughing out loud right now, you just can't see it. Or hear it. And with that, we will wrap up our very first Today's Justice video roundup, or recap, or whatever.
But, before we go, a word from our very own Silver Foxette, Cheeky Lynette.
Why thank you, Jeff. Just call me Cheeky.
Wink wink.